Please click the subscribe button and the notification icon. It will help us a lot.
Yeah, it's funny because I missed the second part of your question earlier, which was what advice to listen to or not listen to, like that kind of thing. And that plays very heavily into this. So it has been my experience that there are a lot of people who feel that it's doing you a favor to tell you what you can't do. I come across this a lot. I don't think it's unique to me. Where someone will sit you down, and they're just trying to help, and it's like this thing that you want to do. I understand. You got everybody. We all have our dreams, but maybe you should go do this instead because I just don't think that's going to happen. And I really hate that. I really hate that. I don't think anybody should try to tell anybody else what they're capable of. I think that we all start in one place and end up somewhere else. And for you to assume when you meet somebody in the middle of their timeline where it's going to end up is incredibly arrogant. I've had classes with people where we came in and there was somebody next to me who was like, wow, this person's so talented. And their talent was enormous, absolutely. Whereas this other person in the room, their work kind of wasn't up to snuff, right? But then through the course of that class, this person didn't really have any interest in growing because they felt like they were already there. And this person who maybe wasn't that great or wasn't that excited about their work in the beginning grew so much in that class period that I'm like, man, that person could just, I'm a couple classes down the line, be way ahead of this person just because they're putting in the work and they're open to the feedback and all that stuff. So I think that you have to take people's advice with a grain of salt. I've had multiple people tell me that I was never going to be able to do this thing that I wanted to do. And especially when I was in college, I was sat down by the Dean of Communication Arts and told, hey, Jen, you're good, but not great. I was applying for the internship with Laika, and I was applying for a couple other animation internships, and I was really hoping one of these things would go, and I was really trying to plan my future around no, I want to be in one of these studios I'm really excited about. I want to be in animation. And that to me wasn't a question. It was like, okay, I'm going to try it, and if it doesn't work, I'll try this thing. And it was very much like, okay, I'm just going to keep throwing rocks at it until it happens. But to him, it was like, I feel like I need to give you some tough love and be the one to tell you, I just don't see this happening. And I don't want you to be upset by that. So, I still want to help you. I still think you're great. There's this opportunity. I have a friend and they work in licensing for Disney and they essentially put Donald Duck on lunchboxes. And we think that, I could probably help you get into that, just as somewhere to go. And basically telling me you're trying all this thing and you're really swimming out of your depth. And I just remember being so frustrated because you're so scared of that all the time in the back of your own head all the time of oh man, am I reaching for something I'm never going to get? When somebody else piles onto it, it's so hard not to listen to it. And I think that can only work if you let it in. I think what I said to him at the time was, I really appreciate it because I did. I think in his mind, he was trying to help me. I believe that, he wasn't trying to hurt me. But I said, I would really like to fall on my face myself. I would like to put it out there and have it returned to me and rejected before I decide that it's not going to happen. I don't want you or me to talk me out of this. And I ended up getting that internship with a couple weeks later. But it's you could listen to somebody who wants to say that stuff to you and never try. And that's really dangerous. That's really terrible to really count yourself out before you even give it a shot. And so I also just think that rejection, all rejection means is it didn't happen this time. And it's like that email I sent to House Special, at that time, it didn't connect, it didn't happen. It wasn't even a rejection, it was a complete non-response, right? And so I could have looked at that and gone, oh man, I'm terrible, nobody's ever gonna wanna work with me, so I should just stop right here. But it was no, okay, I tried that didn't work. To me, it's always okay, if the door is locked, go around back. Is there another door? Are there windows over here? Can you construct a ladder? Okay, this trajectory, this attempt and this point did not happen. What else can I do? Because you are in charge of it to some degree. if you keep putting quarters in the gumball machine, eventually you'll get the color gumball you want, right? But you are responsible for continuing to put quarters in there, and it is sacrifice and it is time, and it's not easy, but it can be done.